Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Pearl Dane. The one, the only master propaganda hero of Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to a 2v2 on rails and metals. In the north, it is Ausar and Fire&Terror fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, coming at Stalin. Taking on the role here of the 7th Tank Corps here with Counter Attack, got motor, combined arms, terror tactics, got motor. And NKVD. In the south it is Hotzenplots and StuG88mm fighting for the German army, Deutschland. The Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier here with fortifications, Elite Armour, Overwatch, Storm, Lightning War, and Mechanized. We got a double conscript start here for both server players, fortifications times 2 for Hotzenplots and StuG88mm there with MD42 and Grenadiers. And as always, a hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. These champion heroes support the Propagandacast from thick and thin and allow me to keep doing what I do on a monthly basis, so big thanks for all those. Other people can join them and support the war effort by pledging on Patreon, or they can donate by PayPal. Links in the video description, and finally commenting, liking, and subscribing is another great way to support indirectly. Anyways, Sturmpionier concentration here, right by the some fuel point here, as Hotzenplots there looks to cut off any needed access to the fuel point, and crucially the building here, since this building is quite a linchpin on this map here. Definitely not one of the things they should have brought in from Companies 1, honestly. A lot of the finding east will typically involve this building, which is why typically someone runs to, like, wire off the entrance there. Skirmishing here between the Sturmpionier conscripts. Got a third conscript at Fire&Terror for Ausar. In the centre there we got Stug versus the conscripts. And up north MD43 holding off against a certain advance on the victory point, the resources there. Note he's actually skipped grabbing the other points. They just secure the points here. Mortar on the way there for StuG88mm. We got the troops moving up here. Hotzenplots bring more troops to the front line here, having secured the fuel point. He can now bring more to bear versus Fire&Terror and his Frontovics. In the centre, Pioneers versus the conscript on the west side, the MD42 holding up here. East side there we got conscripting about there for Fire&Terror. In the centre, conscript there versus the Pioneers. More troops bring out there for Ausar. North the troops holding up there as well, bit of skirmishing there. Mortar at the ready to provide bombardment versus Soviet troops if they stick into around for too long here. Holding up here, making it hard for the Germans to advance any further unless they, of course, wish to be met with a face full of lead. Sturmpionier backing up, leaving the folks to try and hold the front line. We see the Fire&Terror is quick to look for an alternate route here rather than straight for the Germans. He's looking to outmaneuver them and force them out of the position. His thumbs up there, that's it. Fire&Terror slightly lose up momentum, allowing Hotzenplots more time, bringing his troops to put a stop to this march. This sort there, going to bring in a full force here. Could be seeing flame for an easy smooth to support. Yes, as well. We've also got 4 conscripts here. Bit rare there. Bunhand gun it off. Signaling, of course, that Hotzenplots has to truck out already. Center we got here. Ausar pushing through here. Looking to encircle and outmaneuver here. StuG88mm. Smart play there by Ausar. Really smart read of the situation there. Based out moves the machine gun force in that tree position and threatening a lot of other stuff here. And these side here, Fire&Terror, there's clearly hesitant to commit further aggressively here versus Hotzenplots. And there you go. Bypassing MD42 here and the mortar, leaving StuG88mm in a bit of a tricky spot here, forcing him to retreat the machine gun team, leaving his part of the front line in a very, very dangerous spot. East side here, we got a bit of skirmish here. Sturmpionier, very low on health, will have to retreat before they get wiped out here by Fire&Terror. They're very close to wiping. Of course, the Fulton is now left to deal with the flame engineers, of course, being constantly merged here, with the constant ensuring that even if Hotzenplots focus them down, they're going to effectively, in a sense, always be at full strength because Fire&Terror just keep merging with them. At least he should be, but for some reason he didn't. Oh, you know, Fire&Terror, when I try and build you up there, you're not supposed to let me down there. I guess that was a misclick. There's too much going on there, but yeah, no, like what was supposed to happen there, of course, is he kept merging with them instead of getting them killed. That was just a bit disappointing, and now he suffers another one. Good lord. That's going to be quite painful there. He still won the engagement. He still pushed his opponent back, but ended up being fairly expensive there. Fairly expensive. Make it hard for him to maintain the position. Meanwhile, MD34 there for Hotzenplots. Double Grenadiers, MD42 mortar for Stug. Noting, of course, no additional Grenadiers. We do have tech there for him. Fire&Terror coming to the first commander. It is NKVD here with KV8. Radio intercept. Commissar Command Squads, the Scorched Earth policy, and the anti-tank Overwatch, and force the conscripts suppress them rapidly. Ignis retreating here, conscripts routed. Grabbing the eastern point here. And he's bringing up with MD42 in tow. Ignis setting out there from the base. Bringing the west side with the MD42 and the Grenadiers. Fulch doing putting up, Fulch against the console there as well. Quick hand grenade off. And there you go, we got Ausar here with the counter attack with K1s, shock troopers, recon air flights from other Russian, the B4, and of course KV8 in NKVD, radio intercept Commissar. Oh, I'll mention that anyway. So about the Commissar there, fought Fire&Terror, just Hotzenplots now, and StuG88mm without commanders. Fire&Terror, they're routed again, the losses he suffered. Makes it very different to like hold the ground here, so that of course means he was easily pushed back here by Hotzenplots. StuG and Pioneer pushed back, got more troops moving forwards here for Fire&Terror. He's also got the Commissar command squad now to back up his forces. West side here, StuG88mm making slow progress versus Ausar. Pioneers comes to the Conscripts in the centre. On the east side, you've got the infantry against the Conscripts there, popping into the building here. Forces with the Conscripts there. Troops pushing up. Pink knees fighting with the flamethrowers. Mortar raining down death. Conscripts push back there, burning away there the troops. On the west side here, troops holding up. Conscripts at the point here. Going to the Conscripts there. Lighter skirmishing, going to bring up there for StuG88mm.
Shock troops can now be used to crush the enemy.
Mortar fire landing close. We can see this move to closer here to support Hotzenplots. Western Pupil uncontested. Ausar here with a fast tank. We take on to the fast T-70. Fire&Terror not quite as rapidly taking in there. Perhaps might go for the Mechanized Armour Company and some T-34s. Shocks with that for Ausar. Some heavy assault troops to take on the fascists. Fulton squad almost wiped out here under Hotzenplots' command. MG42 on the west here. T-70 halfway done here. Tank will be taking out for Fire&Terror. Could perhaps be a second T-70 from as well there. We'll have to see. There's certainly quite a few opportunities that could happen here. Transpiring developments. The Kednev for Hotzenplots definitely concerned about anti-tank or light tanks here. And we got StuG88mm of course with the PaK-40 because he is similarly concerned about getting hit by a T-70 and getting completely, you know, spanked by it. MG42 remaining in defense on the west here, coming up here. That's it. There's a bit of a gap here by the M4 with the current positioning, so it could actually be outmaneuvered if he quickly sort of sneaks past there. Shock to bring up here. Advancing rapidly on the front with the TPC-41s, taking through them at close range, taking some heavy fire from the other nearby German troops in the south though. We got a bigger push over Fire&Terror. MG34, they catch them out. There we go. Trying to pop a grenade there. Could try and use forced retreat to fear propaganda. No, does go for the grenade here. Does almost get the MG34 wipe. Kind of works out here. T-70 resting forwards here for Ausar. Catching some of Hotzenplots forces in a prickly position. We also got fear propaganda, so now down here to make it harder here for Hotzenplots to defend there. Not bad. They're still retreating. Mortar there in a bit of a spicy position up north here. MG42 has been forced out there. And now you can see the western victory point. T-70 moving forward here. Catching the grenades by the centre victory point. In the southeast here, Fire&Terror has broken down Hotzenplots' defence of the eastern fuel point through brave socialist feat of arms. Ura, comrades! But what about Dimitri? He's dead. Well, no one liked Dimitri anyways. There we go. Mechanized Armour Company. It might be a T-34 from 6 rush, or it could be the spicier KV8 rush. Armoured car there for StuG88mm. Leichte Panzerspielwagen, 222. Grenades being attacked with the conscripts moving about here, catching StuG88mm's PaK-40 out of position. And you finish the conscripts, suppress them. We got the Fulton moving forwards here. Commissar there with a grenade on the Fulton squad. They're pushing out into the open. Center position looking a bit rough here between StuG88mm and Ausar. Ausar is definitely making great progress. Again, the PaK-40 is once more caught in a pretty bad position. MG42 though on the spot here. We also got more troops for StuG88mm pushing up to 3 Grenadier squads that could consider 8 Panzer Grenadier squad. Worth noting, of course, we're slowly approaching the 10-minute mark. Another German commander has really found the desire here to go for a commander here. Air reconnaissance there, ready for Ausarthevile. And then he's almost right here with the shock troops. Got 4 kills on them so far here. Closing in mentions 1. MG42, the team, of course, can't fight the shock troops. Now the outmaneuvered here. Really good push there by Ausar. The shock troopers are ripping apart here. StuG88mm the southern flank here. Like a house made out of cake. Though why you'd make a house out of cake, I don't know, except for maybe some really stupid reality show like, you know, I live in a house made out of cake. It's totally not made up to try and make me popular. But, you know... And that obviously star Elon Musk. But anyways, Armored Car pushing back the shock troops there, mortifying way. There we got 1 kill, 1 star of efficiency. Back hit reinforcing healing. Field gun there for Fire and Terror. T-Spin reinforcing gating the Armored Car punch through the side armor. Pantherfast, oh, we can actually open up from the T-Spin punching cleanly through the armor there. Barbed wire up here. You know, like Ken was like really a low production run weapon. That game was mostly made because they were sort of for a brief period not entirely sure like were they going to make Panzerschrecks or Raketen methods. The few Raketens they had basically I think went with the Fallschirmjägers, so they had some sort of lighter anti-tank weapons since they couldn't get anti-tank guns theoretically. So you know, little note there. But for the most part, the Raketen method wasn't really like a main anti-tank gun even remotely. And again, was pretty much supplanted by the Panzerschreck because in the end. It's much more handy if, like, you know, you can just, like, have a guy hold it around. And you need it, like, you know, to be wheeled around by, like, multiple guys and vehicles. We got the truck there on the way for Hotzenplots. StuG here has gone for Mechanized with the command tank, the 250-1 half-track, vehicle critical repairs, spotting scopes, and the lighter fill up its scene. Follows with the constant engineers. West side, we got StuG88mm pushing up against Ausarthevile. Sandbags on the west.
The machine and gewehr team is awaiting orders.
MD-34 for the right flank, making it harder here for him to push through, unless of course it brings in the field gun to bombard the MD-34, unless of course the wreckage of the StuG, you know, heroically saves the MD-34. Even in death, it still serves. Mostly. West side here for west of the field being claimed, oh, victory point, being claimed back there by the German army. Mechanized Armour company out for Ausarthevile. T-34 switch there for Fire and Terror. Very good. Ausartheville's going to take a bit longer to get going for that. Really consider maybe some more shock troopers. That would of course be in some ways be a bit expensive, but certainly also give them a bit of an assault force. Also worth noting, of course, you might notice here they have drum magazines in the PP-41. Those were mostly, so I would say, early to mid-war. As the war went on, they were actually moved over to stick magazines on the PP-41 because there were numerous reasons for this. Besides the more common issue with drum magazines, which they're really heavy and you can't actually carry as much ammunition with them overall as you normally could with stick magazines because they're not quite as handy. The drum magazines on the PPSH-41 also had some significant technical issues due to mass production introduced errors, which meant a lot of the time you could like not even have a spare magazine in some cases for it. So they moved over towards stick magazines, which will have many more benefits and were also just easier to make. So, fun fact there about drum magazines and the PPSH-41. Pioneers rally here, a bit of barbed wire this time to try and cover the machine gun's flank a bit better. Not a bad move at all by StuG. Shock troops being on the other flank. They, of course, can pop a smoke grenade, if that even becomes necessary, because the conscripts, of course, are heroically drawing away the machine gun's fire. Thank you, comrades, for drawing away the fire of that machine gun. We hadn't been told. Well, that's for the best. You may not act sufficiently accurately as decoys if you had been told you were just decoys, comrades. That's not very nice. War is nice, comrades. War is nice. East side here, we got troops moving up. There once more we see Hotzenplots there, being Hotzenplots here. As Fire&Terror launches another sortie, T-34. Oh, he counts it for KB8. So in fact, we are getting a KB8 rush here from Fire&Terror against Hotzenplots. That's gonna get incendiary. On the west side here, going for the StuG88mm. He's got the Support Cop there, very good. There we got Orbisoldaten for Hotzenplots, though. Crucially, the Orbisoldaten won't do much good against the KV8. As for Ausarthevile, maybe a T-34-6, though he's more likely looking to go for the K1 there. Grenadiers bunched up in front of the T-70, and the field gun there is definitely not great. He riot grenades off here. He's trying to get his hands to that MD-42, which, you know, the shock troopers mostly got out of StuG88mm hands before they got wiped. East side here, we got continued fighting here between Fire&Terror and Hotzenplots. We got the comms there boosting the men's courage. Or more likely just pointing out they're not going to serve on the front line, they're going to serve on the firing line. Has been caught with the KV8. Stalin's Dragon unleashes hell here upon Hotzenplots infantry as things get very Hotzenplots. Absolutely just burning its way here through Hotzenplots forces here. There's a complete rout here as he's got no way of stopping the KV8 here. He's lost his unit there. The folks have got completely burned to a crisp. 6 kills on the KV8 already, and he's just continuing the pursuit here as Hotzenplots men are frantically running away here. It's a complete rout. He's bringing another cannon now. For meanwhile, it's in his... Looks like he's just pursuing him straight to the base. His Fulton's go there. He's trying to enforce actually to get back there. He's actually risking going to lose. He's got a Panther Fast, but he's going to get wiped before he gets the Panther Fast off. And now we're going to see more carnage inside the base. It's turned into less of a base and more of a barbecue. Good God. They'll never get rid of the smell. Anyways, NKVD, well, in fact, Hotzenplots down just the opposite on the Sturmpioneer. He's got Kevin Landfield and everything else is just burned to a cinder. There's nothing left but ashes. And the smell of burnt flesh. Orbison holding up here, hoping the KV-8 doesn't notice them. Looks like that. In fact, it got 19 kills, by the way. 19 kills in its first run here against Hotzenplots. It even wiped the flak emplacement. It wiped the flak emplacement. Who does that? Ground the center victory point. The western one hasn't been seized. We've got a KV-1 there for Ausar. Hotzenplots there. He's definitely going to need some time to recover. We got the Panther 4 there for StuG88mm. And we got Fire&Terror there triumphantly hauling back his KV-8. Like a cat dragging a dead mouse inside. Choose your rocket launch flying up for Fire&Terror. More engineers away from him to assist, of course, with repairing his glorious KV-8. Got the Panther 4 there ready for StuG88mm, and the Großdeutschland Panzer Gunner Division. As this K1 heavy tank is almost done.
We are losing territory.
Teasing towards the center here, going straight for the Grenadiers. There we go, there's another KV tank here. Good shot from the Pack 4 and the T-70. Note, by 1944-45, most KV tanks, there would have been the KV-85. Basically sort of like, the T-30-35 of the KV series. Bigger turret with bigger armor and a bigger gun. It was basically sort of meant to serve as an intermediate between the KV series and the IS series of tanks. Heavy cannon from the KV-8, but again, shots are bouncing off there. It's got 20 kills now. Veterans want 21 kills. He's even using Inspire Infantry to boost the nearby troops. That's really rare. I think it's a fairly good ability, but it's just I've yet to see a single person use it until now. Right? It's been added over a year ago, and literally, I think this is the first time I've seen anyone use it. 2 thumbs up to Fire&Terror, of course, just using it in the first place, but it's a bit depressing. Up north, we've got the K1 engaging here. StuG88mm forces with its 76.2mm gun. Field bombarding. Panther Fast is pursuing. He's threatening to the Panther Fast. Field gun in trouble. Panther 4 being fixed up here for Stu. We got spotting scope for it as well there. Gonna need suffering losses there to the K1 heavy tank. Got 251 versus 350. More engineers here for Ausar. Another field gun for Fire&Terror and the Red Army. Now the Pack 40 for StuG88mm. Probably have to deal with the K1 tanks. Push up the center here for Ausar. Straight into these machine guns. Panther Walter arriving here, shoots and obliterates Constantine. Mortifier removes Yuri. South here we got a Panther already for Hotzenplots. Katyusha fire raining down death in Hotzenplots positions as Fire&Terror remains stuck in here. A wall of stalwart socialism. Until the artillery and the tanks hit, at which point his men start melting away. There we go, full wipe on Fire&Terror again. He's definitely suffered some pretty heavy losses here versus the Germans so far. That's his 3rd Consul War wiped here. But really all just shows how powerful the K1-8 is. Just in the right situation, just completely turn the game around forward, which is it for Fire&Terror. Didn't matter how many losses he suffered, the KV just completely wiped the slate clean and then burned the slate to a crisp, removing any evidence in the first place. Field gun wiped out, KV lost, so suddenly the situation for Fire&Terror is once more looking less than impressive as he takes another round of pretty brutal losses there. His field gun needs to get out of there. He could try and take out the Panther. I think there's a good chance he might end up losing the field gun if he isn't careful, or for that matter, handing over one hit to Hotzenplots. Striking back though here, and there we go. Hotzenplots wants no chance of Fire&Terror recovering it, so he just sits about destroying it. Thumbs up there. StuG88mm reaching that Team 4 need to retreat here. Up north, this fight between Ausar and StuG88mm continues. The Panther 4 is repositioning a bit here. Bit more of a standoff here though between Ausar and StuG88mm with another Mossad making progress. Things are obviously much more intense in the south here between Hotzenplots and Fire&Terror.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
With more Ausarthevile here for Hotzenplots. Got packs there firing at the T-70. Knocked it out there. Katyusha fire here raining down on Hotzenplots' position. His Panther 4 is on fire. Fire&Terror lives up to his name and struck it down. In the center here, the StuG88mm will push back into this outside. The outside is definitely ready to defend here for the glory of Marxist Lenin in socialist theory. K1, they're getting hammered. The Pack 4's Panther Faust. They could also finish on. We got for Mother Russia is the Panther Faust go off in a stream of death there against the KV8, which survives it somehow. But there you go, Panther 4 on the kill here. We also got the B4 howitzer here for Ausar. Panther 4 going for it. Field gun into position. Comes that clashing with the Gundis here for Mother Russia. Boost the firepower here. Could maybe get some wipes on StuG88mm. Panther 4 pushed back. Shock Troop is forced away as well here. Katyusha almost done. Feels a bit redundant to go for the B4 and the Katyusha. We could like maybe gone for a tank additionally. Might just be me. We'll have to see. All the way we got the B4 firing away there. Almost get some wipes here, but in the end it mostly just ruins the local infrastructure more than any sort of German formation. Well, there we go. M4 True Crew got utterly obliterated. Eastside here, Fire&Terror has lost a bit of ground to Hotzenplots, who's putting up a pretty fierce fight. A pretty fierce fight. Reminded of the consequences of failure, usually meaning you have to listen to one of Goering's private concerts. Truly horrific punishment for any German officer. Anyways, Team 4 going straight here for the Academy after taking heavy damage here. Both of them fire massive 88mm rockets into it, but there you go. Forced away with the Raven Infantry. Close call there for Fire&Terror. Once more, Katyusha there unleashing another serenade of rockety death here against Hotzenplots positions. Nearby forces here are definitely in the danger zone. All of a sudden, breaking out the building. StuG88mm about to get wiped. There you go. Lost a Vetzni 4 near ace StuG88mm squad there. Great kill for Fire&Terror. Definitely another gut punch here for Hotzenplots. Malta at the ace there for StuG88mm. That's been like pretty good, and interesting enough, not really a lot has been done to dealt with. He's just apparently in such a position like it falls into like both players like blind spots somehow. It's more like white noise than anything. It's just white noise that happens to fairly consistently draw kills in. Got the Osman mover here for StuG88mm. To help deal with infantry. Air recons out here. He's caught here. Apparently they didn't finish the mine. If they had, also they've been blown up. Also with the air recon to the Osman's going to be pretty good at dealing with that. But there you go. The Osman may not manage to deal with it. It's getting focused on both the K1 and the field in here under Ausar's command. Nope. Panther draws the attention away from the Osman. Close call there for StuG88mm. And the course Deutschland. Panther not taking fire. There we go. B4 howitzer wipes one of the pack crews. No survivors. One moment they were there. Next moment they were all over the place. And the pack 40's gone too. Osman, I think, trying to get past before the next B4 shot lands. Can he make it? And the second pack crew loses only Ludwig. Only Ludwig dies this time around, though. That can quickly change. Okay, looks like the barrage is over. A full pack wipe there on StuG88mm is like pretty good. And the other pack, of course, is now left behind enemy lines as the rest of StuG88m's forces just completely retreat, forgetting about the pack. East side here, meanwhile, Fire&Terror is launching another offensive against Hotzenplots here. Katyusha firing away there. Good hit from the field gun on the Panther 4 here, adding a Panzer Commandant to that. Battle headquarters heavily damaged here. Fulton's there for Hotzenplots. No additional StuG88mm, which I think is a pretty critical oversight, considering he's got, like, you know, no way repairing his Panther 4 except, well, the vehicle critical repairs, which I think is not something we should be relying too much on under certain positions. Pack wipe going to get destroyed here. We got air reconnaissance again here from Ausar. B4 there with 11 kills so far, ready to fire another volley soon off. Sorry about that. Stomach is being a bit uncooperative today. Bit uncooperative. So yeah, Hotzenplots and StuG88mm trying to rebuild the forces for another offensive against the Soviets. Fire&Terror with another T-34 and 6 more field guns. Removing the Friedrich. Catch up the Ostwind. Katyusha's rolling up here for Fire&Terror on the hill, ready to unleash another monstrous rocket barrage there against the Germans. More rocket death here, battle headquarters heavily damaged. And we got a B4 barrage going off somewhere. There we go. Looks like they finally sort of got rid of the blind spot and silenced StuG88mm's mortar with the B4. Ausar had enough. K1 heavy tank on the way. Panfour dying forward. See, it's enough ordering it to hold fire. What is this? Oh dear, he's planning a flank against Katyushas, and I think Fire&Terror's realised it, but it's going to be too late here. They need to turn around there. Meanwhile, the Panfour's on the move here. StuG88mm sees death for Deutschland. There we go. One Katyusha down there. Already a striking blow there to Fire&Terror. The first wreckage, though, provides some cover here for the force. And again, notice he's ordering it to hold fire, so he ensures he doesn't waste any shots on anything except the Katyusha. He wants those Katyushas kaput. Panfour number 2 moving in here. Field and shoot bounces. Oh, didn't get the Katyusha! Send the other Panfour, the Hotzenplots. There you go. Gets the Katyusha. Will he lose that Panfour as well there? Almost got the T-34 some SIGs, though. Down it goes, Panfour. Will it go down? Or will he survive? It looks like he makes it. In the end, though, 2 Katyushas and a T-34 plus a field gun. For single Panfour, I think it's for both German players like a pretty decent trade-off. And that pretty much just guts Fire&Terror. And just a few conscripts, a commissar, and the field guns. I mean, you need, it's like the rest is just dead or on fire or both. So there you go. That's quite the blow there to Fire&Terror. Definitely leaves Ausar there to pretty much do most of the work now for at least a while. StuG88mm with a command tank, Hotzenplots. Finally bring in some more Sturmpioneer as his Panzer IV is in dining repairs. And again, it's going to need more than just the emergency repairs to get through this time around. But as you know, it stops being emergency repairs when he has to like do it every time. At that point, it's just standard repairs. But yeah, B4's ready to fire another explosive murder volley here for Ausar. Constant pen down, he feeling getting ready. West side here, ground lost some victory point there. KV again here for Fire&Terror. Another bold strategy here from him. And the Red Army, the 7th Tank Corps. But yeah, the Soviet Army actually by, 1944-45 was actually operating a fairly wide variety of heavy tanks. You had the KV-85. You actually had British Churchill tanks being used as well by Soviets. You also had the IS-1/IS-85. It's heavy tank, you had the IS-2. There's like a fair amount of heavy armor there being used by the Soviets at that point of the war. In terms of heavy tanks, and we've got constant grenadiers flashing out there. B4 firing down Deathy. Command tank at the ready to support the frontline troops now. Can of course also deploy smoke if necessary. And we got, I think, another pack forward there for StuG88mm. Command tank MD4 took was the news to serve. Got the K1 here moving forwards for Ausar. And there you go, Katyusha barrage here. This time they're from Ausar, as obviously Fire&Terror's Katyushas are still pretty much on fire. And won't be making a return, that's for sure. In the center or east we got Fire&Terror and Hotzenplots continue to clash, continuing to grapple. That set, the odds are definitely looking now much more stacked here for Fire&Terror. Of course, we've got the KV-80 here burning through the Obstgarden. unleashing and trying to fire grenades going off here, causing further casualties to Hotzenplots, but he's still got a lot of anti-tank firepower against the KVA, forcing Fire&Terror to disengage. And in the center there, it's Ausar and StuG88mm pretty much grappling here violently. Counter 4, they're going for the KVA. Field gun almost on there for Fire&Terror. Got the KVA.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
B4 there, closing in slowly but surely. Back hit reinforcing healing for Fire&Terror. Better quiet at his base. Down hit Panther 4 backing off here for Hotzenplots, and the German army in the center. Pack 4 is ready. Constantly moving a bit about here as well. West side is seeing very little action. That seems like pretty much like both StuG88mm and Ausar sort of kind of forgotten and exists like the left side of the map. It's just all center focused here. Part of the thing is also in both cases they're sort of all increasingly forced to support their teammates. In particular, Ausar really has to like be able to support Fire&Terror and vice versa, because Fire&Terror again is currently not in the world's best position, having suffered some pretty aggressive losses. So I can definitely see why Ausar is probably more constrained to like just have to focus more on the center here. But for StuG88mm, I would say Hotzenplots is much better off, so there's less argument there for it, though. Even then, of course, with better teamwork, more force coordination between Ausar and Fire&Terror, of course, Hotzenplots and StuG88mm all has to coordinate better in a lot of cases. So can understand the counter move there. Before to cut the Cruiser and wipe. Good kill there for Ausar. Arriving into the midst of the third assault here, getting a few kills there. And there you go, B4 direct hit, and the Ausarthevile grenade almost getting hit by, wiped out a grenade. That was really damn close though. Like, I thought that B4 was toast, but somehow it survived a direct hit from a 203mm high explosive shell. That's like just, I mean, I'm fairly certain everyone in that tank is going to need a fresh pair of underpants after that one. Plus a bit of a quick power hosing for the tank afterwards. Counter for the 9.5 field, closing in MHC fleet. And we got a Storm T-Guard here for Hotzenplots. Ready to blast his way here for the third lines. We got 178 versus 118. Big 2 points definitely starting to get a bit low here. And we got a T-34. Fire&Terror's got next to nothing left now. He's got the tank, the field gun, and the commissar. Pretty much everything else under his command is dead. Like, he's suffered some, like, absurdly intense losses. That pretty much means now, like, Ausar has to, for a good part, do a lot of the lifting, while Fire&Terror just pretty much has to support him to his best ability here. While he built his forces, so quite the challenge there for Soviets. Quite the challenge for sure. That said, I mean, victory points wise, they could maybe make it work there if again Fire&Terror ensures he doesn't, like, you know, lose further units in aggressive manner. There you go, nothing wiped out with the B4 lightning gun cleared out there. Half check for Fire&Terror. B4 there with 18 kills. Shock troops moving forward. Got the StuG to the ready. Could explode here. Ausar, shock troops. There you go. Shoots. Only gets 2 kills though. Fairly lucky there for Ausar. Fairly lucky. Half truck ready for Fire&Terror. Could be for Command, could be for frontline troop reinforcement. I mean, both have some merit. We got fear propaganda being unleashed here on StuG88mm on his defense, no defense on the center. Depending on perspective, grenade off from the Gundiers. Panther moving up here for Hotzenplots. 16 kills, slowly approaching their TP still. Got the half-truck ready, and there goes X using to reinforce the frontline troops, assisting both him and his teammate. I'd say that is fairly smart there for Fire&Terror. Fairly smart, of course, to also makes use of it to reinforce the troops as well. I think that'd be also very smart, obviously. Pretty rare, by to see a half-truck being used like this late into the game as well there, so thumbs up to Fire&Terror there. His unit presentation definitely has some problems, but it's nice to see a half-truck just being used there. Storm Tiger shoots, misses. Sadly, no half-tracks here for StuG88mm. He's going for the Panzer, I think going for tier 4. Interesting choice there. On the west side, we got the Austrian rushing in there. Bold move here by StuG88mm doing blitzkrieging. I'm not entirely sure what he's hoping to achieve with that. Seems a bit odd. There you go, reinforcing the field gun thanks to the half-track. The 5, which was provided in large numbers by Lend-Lease to the Soviets, by the Americans. That said, well, vast majority of them were pretty much used for logistical purposes because the Soviet logistical system was just not great. It lacked a lot of trucks and whatnot, and they couldn't really afford to like mechanize any of the infantry. They just moved to like haul around troops and other stuff there, but not really like attach like any frontline combat units directly. So fun fact there. D4 going for the Osprey, halfway to FT3, command and also knocked out here. B4 flying away there somewhere over the rainbow. Got the Panda 4 command tank.
Our panzer forces have been reduced by 1.
18 kills on the B4. Molotov on the guns pushing off the western victory point. Fighting continues to be pretty intense and fierce here. Fire&Terror's like slowly rebuilt some of his forces. Going for Katyusha again. He's got some engineers out. Not hitting a mine here. Looking to creep up there on the Soviets, but Ausar's having none of that. He's also like got a bit of resource float here. So he's definitely doing like fairly decently for himself so far. Katyusha fire here, doing some nasty damage to Ausar and to Fire&Terror. Though again, the half-tick ensures they can just reinforce at the front line easily. So again, the half-tick I think is definitely a very smart move here by Fire&Terror. StuG for StuG88mm, 2 thumbs up. I was about to say the fact he's called himself StuG but hasn't gone for StuG should be criminal. He should be straight up illegal, you know, right to jail. "26 kills in these shock troopers, these ace hitters of the Red Army. Osman moving in here, 17 kills, halfway to the ace level itself. K1T for the full success at the ready. Can't get them about it with the Ostwind. StuG almost down here for StuG88mm. Hand from the eastern side with the jump and support plus Obersoldaten here. Another Katyusha red here for Fire&Terror. Let's see if we can get a bit more use out of this one compared to the other two, which were pretty quickly dealt with by the Germans. The west side here, another push here for StuG88mm. Finally starting to push more westwards here. Got the Osman there, and he was sort of ready to support the attack. East side, that Panther Force moving in. Katyusha here could get run down here, honestly. There you go, we got a blitzkrieg maneuver. Till he caught in the field gun, he's gonna make it. And there you go, another Katyusha knocked out here. Fire&Terror is having no luck with those Katyushas all. He might even lose the half track here. We got the anti-tanks on Ausar turning around the Panther 4 here, half track down to half health here. Panther 4 narrowly escapes. Half-tech also narrowly escapes because the K1 moved in to block this shot there. Also, really lucky for Fire&Terror once the Katyusha only got abandoned. So we can see they're StuG moving up his StuG, his Sturmgeschütze. Panther firing off there. Landing on pretty close to Katyusha, but doesn't destroy it. The amount of luck there. The absolute sheer amount of luck in display here for Fire&Terror. B4 firing again. Firing in the center here, we got 18 kills. Katyusha firing destroyed here. B4 ends up overshooting. Sturmgeschütze fires right into the mercy of Ausar's forces. Takes up the T-54 from 6 instead. Close call to the B4, but ultimately didn't do like any heavy damage. There's no Hotzenplots, so StuG88mm. Austin StuG moving up here, going for the K1 there, looking to finish it off here for the glory of Deutschland. Field on the firing way here. Another hit on the Osprey, like Kevin on the scene there. Molotov on like Kevin. We also got the ace shock was there with 26 kills. East side seeing next in action here. Fire&Terror there. We'll have to see what goes for next. He's still fairly short on units. Again, losing the Katyusha again like that just isn't really doing him any favors. West side here, Pioneer's going to look at Osman there, sort of being screened on the flank by the infantry, ensuring that at least that way Ausar can't just beeline it, or for that matter Fire&Terror. In the centre there we got SOH troops converging, looking to use that one again. We got 134 versus 104. An absolutely ruthless fight here. Fresh Sturm Pioneer squad there for Hotzenplots. Got the Ops on the move here. Pack crew there being met out in the open and being absolutely ripped apart here. And there you go. Panzer fire there. More or less finishes the job here. Katyusha fire responds and almost wipes out here. Hotzenplots, Obersoldaten They leave behind a light machine gun. And there you go. Fire&Terror's Commissar makes a run for it. And secures himself the Ausarthevile LMG-34. And we got the dancing, they're ruined by Hotzenplots for Kidnappers. Match continues to be pretty violent here. Half-tack's being fixed up. K1's T-34 seems to need repairs. B4 is ready to fire again. Moving on the western victory point. And we got a command tank again here for StuG88mm. B4 shoots here, fairly close quarters barrage. Looking to wipe the Ausarthevile. Didn't quite work out there though for Aus, I imagine, much to Hotzenplots' relief. On the west side there, more fighting close to the next point, but that said, Aus is constantly just not able to, like, you know, do the lifting quite there. He's got like a lot of fuel and some manpower float, but just doesn't quite have the... Oh, now it does. I think he should definitely call in more tanks now, but he can here versus the Germans in the center of the K1 moving forward, getting hammered here. Even target weak pointed. Down to a fraction of self there. That said, the armor is striking off a lot of shots here from Hotzenplots and StuG88mm's guns. T4 flanking in here straight into the StuG. We've got guns down by the Pantherplots. We've got anti-tank being released by Fire&Terror there. But he loses the T-34 from 60 gets his Pantherfaust to hell and back and then some. Still the anti-tank which is doing some damage here, but still needs line of sight to really make the most of it. Command tank there could get wiped out here. No, it gets away with a slower health. There's no follow-up attack here from the Soviets, like get the most out of it. Close call, but in the end, not enough there. We got his StuG88mm with his Osprey gaining the ace. Good hit from the field gun though. Of course, still need to be mindful of possible anti-tank overwatch. If he's not careful. Panther barrage off feet. Further losses as the Soviets find the men wrecked apart here. Outside with an 85mm tank destroyed. There, holy smokes! Good God! Just StuG88mm just lost half of all of his infantry squads and then some. Brutal B4 hit there. Absolutely brutal. B4 is almost the ace. We got the ace from almost done there. StuG88mm. Nothing further going on there. Hotzenplots with a Panther. A Panzerkampfwagen 5. And Fire&Terror with another KV8. He is unstoppable in his desire for incendiary German death. They're burning up the Germans, I suppose, in that sense. Hotzenplots caught here. We got the half to their fighting away. They're close to 2 Panther. Panther 4 being pushed back here as Fire&Terror also puts up a stubborn defense for the motherland. The flank, there we go. B4 getting hammered by artillery. Finally getting rid of that B4, removing a significant thorn in the side of the German army. Panther pushes forwards here. Half-tack almost knocked out here, but the Panther got the StuG diving in as well there. Could load up a heat shell here. Misses the half-tack. Panther dives further forward straight into the HT5, which is there now. Constantly on the flank here. StuG diving off. Madness and chaos ensues here. Panther with heat shells firing out the K1 there. All of a sudden flew out the field and he's attempting to. HT5 another great hit. Panther's main gun is out, ensuring he can't finish off the KV1. Got 55 as 104. KV8 flanking the Panther 4 with its 45mm gun. And we got the K1 the HT5 there knocking out Hotzenplots' Panzer 4. Yes, Basil, the Panzer 4. Constantly being met here with intense machine gun fire there from StuG88mm's forces. K1's need repairs. Outside there. Bit of a manpower shortage. But no shortage of Germans to kill. KV8 gun is getting hit with the Pack 4, but the shot bounces off the armor. That's really wanting some attention now. We go. Grenadier squad wiped again here by Katyusha fire from outside and the Red Army. 31 kills on the other Grenadier squad here. Back at base for Fire&Terror. It's a lone Grenadier squad there. For outside, there's a few conscript squads here. The shock to the bar is still alive. We got 29 kills here. Going straight for the Grenadiers and murdering them. Out, Basil, don't bite, you stupid cat. Sturmtiger there fires into the massive shock troopers. killing 2, and they're almost finished off here by the nearby Panzer IV command tank. More grenadiers here for StuG88mm, more infantry to make up for the losses. Comms are there with 3 kills, close to StuG1 wing up. Got fear propaganda being unleashed here, looking to once more mess with the German advance here. Command tank holding back. Back here, base. Panther being repelled. Close to base. Close to base, not quite at base. Command tank being pummeled by Soviet anti-tank fire. In this case, the Academy of a pilfer from Hotzenplots. And StuG88mm finally goes for a second Stug. Thumbs up to that. We got 100 points left here for the Germans versus the Allies 51. They're back to bleeding out the Reich. You also got fine testing up the southern victory point here, that there is an MD-34, but also crucially, booby traps. No monsters and engineers. Hey Yuri, look at these vodka! Yeah, Dimitri! Ah, shit! Panther on the move. No, they should fight with Fire&Terror this time around. HK1 the rolling 40 of Ausarthevile. Great hit here. We got 51 as an 89. Panther goes for the kill here. He's attempted kill. But he's being met here with tank destroyers and other things. Still got the half running ample support for the Soviet forces. We've got Betsy 2 on the half track actually. KV at their flank. Actually kind of forgotten he had that one out there. More Katyusha fire here. Correct on the StuG gaining Betsy 2 shots and added. And we got the End Flak Panzer unleashing a Flak Sturm on Fire&Terror's infantry. KV1 their drives ahead, 17 kills, 8 being met here with intense fire from Pax and Stugs. Could lose his HK1 there, go the K1 is down, a hero of the Soviet Union. Bursts into flames, the crew unable to escape. The tomb that is the K1 heavy tank here. Stug being pushed back, Panther, Flak Panzer, and just everything else unleashing hell there into Ausar's men in the center. Panther takes another nasty hit here. We're going for the H5 there. Going for Blitzkrieg maneuver with heat shells, knocking out Fire&Terror's H5 tank destroyer. No survivors. The Ace Austin there raises ahead there. I think a bit too ahead of itself there, honestly. Brief moment of quiet before the attack once more goes off. Here's Fire&Terror testing from the eastern victory point here. Defended still by the MD-34. Sturmtiger and just most of the German Panzerwaffe in this sector is covering the center victory point. Stug going to gate the KV8 here. Panther Sturmtiger up as well here. Almost got the KV8 heavy tank there. Panther Vecchi 2, but there you go. H5 heavily damaged. Stug there closing on the ace level. There you go. Filgen also being hammered at the Panzerwaffes. H5 only a band, but still a bit of blow there at the moment. 2. Also, we got 47 versus 78. The Katyusha of Academy wiped out, but the Sturmtiger 41 kills. The casualties never stop. The bloodletting never ends. "30 kills on the Flak Panzer. Oops, I'm going steady for the Katyusha. Half-tech firing away there. Katyusha that's getting heavily strafed with machine gun fire there, and down it goes. I think the Surge may have left the match actually. There we go. Fire&Terror drops out. Then wait, Stug also drops out. Oh well, GG game over here. A victory for the German army, a loss for the Red Army, a completely fierce and brutal match with a lot of back and forth. In the end, though, Fire&Terror I think was undone by some near von Eyman levels of unit. Conservation there, suffered some intense loss. He was still able to bounce back from time to time, but after a certain point, he struggled a lot more with it. Tactically, I think there could have been some nice use of smoke screen. I think to support their attacks, some deeper maneuvers there. In the end, they just ended up being a very, very brutal match with Ausarthevile doing some of the heavy lifting as the match went almost with the StuG88mm and Hotzenplots. Things were a bit more equal though in that regard. Hotzenplots also ended up doing a lot more of the killing here. So, hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Pro Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Until tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.